In Manchester, a 6-day-old baby has been abducted. Jill puts out a nationwide alert.
This girl can be arrested, so she's circulated as a wanted person.
At the crime scene, Carol examines the evidence.
Poor girl has probably been desperate enough to jump through that window.
Come on, up you get.
And in the city centre, Judith's made a mistake.
I should never have volunteered to do this shift.
They're making music to watch girls bar.
It's 8 a.m. in North Manchester. In this house, a 17-year-old woman has been assaulted and her 6-day-old baby snatched.
Probably going to be easy for two of you.
At the scene, forensics manager Carol Higgins examines the evidence.
If you wanted, yeah, and take some soil and stuff. We do know that she's sustained a laceration to her head, which will obviously have bled profusely, so obviously we're suited up to anticipate a large volume of blood at the crime scene.
All Carol knows is that after the attack, the young mother dragged herself as far as the neighbour's gate.
There's laceration to a neck there. Like as if there was giblets and her arms. All her legs was bleeding, and she had a cut on the top of her head there. And then she started crying, saying she's pinched my baby. And she said she had a 6-day-old baby, called Liam, and that she took it. So, oh, it's quite upsetting, really. Yeah. Just hope the girl's all right.
The wounded mother has been rushed to hospital. At the CID office, the search for the attacker and the 6-day-old baby has begun. Detective Constable Jill Council is at the end of a long week.
At this moment in time, because of the seriousness of it, young children are involved. We've got a young victim who's in a very serious condition. We all want to work together. We don't sort of hesitate and, oh, I want to go home. You just get stuck in.
Jill's first job is to visit the victim in hospital.
It's important that as soon as an assault takes place, or certainly in this instance, that we do speak to the victim, because we need as much information as we can. We weren't there, and the only people that know what's gone on is the suspect. And the person with the injuries, the victim might not be in a fit state to speak to us, might be too poorly, might be waiting to go into theatre, and obviously a lot of stress and shock.
The 17-year-old mother, Kelly, is stable and awaiting further surgery. Jill has to get her to talk about the near-fatal attack.
And is there any damage to your tendons?
Yeah.
What, on your right hand?
Yeah.
Right. So you've just got to be really, really careful, haven't you?
Yeah. This one could take up to 2 years to fix.
Is that what they've said?
Yeah.
Because of the damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're a fighter, aren't you?
No.
Hmm? You are. You are. You've come this far, haven't you?
I can't say much more. I'm cracking up.
Because of what's happened?
Yeah.
You'll be all right. You will. We'll help you, won't we? We'll do everything that we can for you. Hmm?
Kelly is in shock. Her missing baby is only 6 days old. Jill has to find out what she knows about her attacker. It could be vital to the search for baby Liam. In the city centre, homeless and begging officer PC Judith Walmsley is on patrol.
We are going up to the old DSS building on A Town Street, which is a building where rough sleepers have gained access into the building. And I went in last week and there were some rough sleepers.
On Judith's city centre beat, derelict buildings awaiting redevelopment are an ongoing problem. Drug addicts and down-and-outs break in to shoot up and sleep. Judith's job is to clear the sites. The steel shutters will stop any further break-ins. They also make it impossible for anyone stuck inside to get out.
The owners and redevelopers of the property are arranging all the boarding up. My job is to go in and make sure everyone's out so we don't actually board anybody in there. Hello.
It's the second derelict building Judith's cleared in a month.
Even though the rough sleepers shouldn't be in here and people who are coming in to use drugs shouldn't be doing that, now that we know that they are using the building, we do have some responsibility to make it secure.
The rough sleepers who broke in, looking for a safe place to sleep, have opened up a potential death trap.
It is a dangerous building because there's lots of places that you could fall. So if people did just wander in or kids wandered in, that there's a lot of dangers here. Somebody could fall and we wouldn't sort of know about it. So it is important that we do now secure it and keep people out.
The building used to be the Department of Social Security, but it's 13 years since any unemployment gyros were issued here.
So my husband doesn't know I've got a dangerous job.
Judith and shift partner PC Sarah Pickstone have to make sure no former clients are now using it for free accommodation.
Oh, it's not a bad little place really, as places go.
The illegal tenants have even dragged mattresses up 7 floors.
But that's the toilet next door.
The on-site facilities were disconnected years ago. The residents have to use their empties instead.
In that bottle of white wine, it's probably not white wine.
The roof is clear. Judith still has to check the other 6 floors. It's 2 hours since 6-day-old baby Liam was abducted. At the CID office, Jill is back from the hospital. She tells her boss, Detective Chief Inspector Jane Antrobus, what Kelly, the victim, told her about the attack.
She said, I just felt something on the back of my head, and when I've turned around, she's hit me with a hammer. And she said, I was screaming at her saying, what are you doing, why are you doing it? And the next thing, she went into the kitchen and came back with a knife. She's described the knife. And then she said, she just started whacking at me and kept going for my face and my head and my neck. She said she was punching me and kicking me. She said she'd then gone for the hammer and she's whacked me with the hammer. She said it just sent me down. She said, and while I was like that, she said she's pulled my wrist from under me and she's just sliced him. And honestly, I've never seen it. I've not seen anything like that myself before. And she just kept saying, I won't hurt Liam, I won't hurt Liam. She just said that Liam was wearing a blue baby grow with foxes on it.
Yeah.
She said he was due a feed at 8, he's not been fed and there's no food in the car.
And where did she tell him she was going, Anita?
She said she was going to London.
She's possibly on a court.
The attacker, Anita, is known to the family. She's the ex-partner of Kelly's brother.
Well, she's got children from a previous relationship, and she's obviously come up here with the children to look after her mother's house while mother's on holiday, Tenerife or somewhere, I believe. And that's the house where all this has happened. She's lured this other girl round to the house to help her with her packing, and once she's done that, the attack's taken place and she's bundled baby and her 2 children into the car and cleared off, leaving this poor girl bleeding on the floor of the house.
There were no witnesses. At the crime scene, Carol's got to find out if the evidence backs up what Kelly, the victim, told Jill.
There's a very clear scene where poor girl has probably been desperate enough to jump through that window. You know, that's very evident to the extent that the wash basket's overturned. It looks like she's elevated herself on it to go through and it's been like smashing herself out.
Bleeding profusely, Kelly saved her own life by breaking out of the house.
I can't imagine the panic that individual must have felt. Obviously seen the way that the door's been broken, to have had to break out of a property, knowing that you've got your 2 wrists slashed and a slash wound to the side of your head is just beyond me.
Police are searching for the attacker, Anita, who fled the scene in a blue Ford Fiesta. In the car with her are 2 of her own children, both under 10, and Kelly's 6-day-old baby Liam. At the derelict building, workers are about to close the last entry point.
Morning, chaps. Hello, wakey, wakey.
The rough sleepers are oblivious to the banging and crashing going on outside.
But I do need you to get moving and get yourselves up. What's your name, pal? Right, young man, have you any ID on you? I've never seen you before. We're police officers from the homeless unit, do you realise that? OK. Are you homeless?
No.
You're not? So you chose to stay here?
No, I missed my last train last night. So.
Right, OK, all I need is your details off you, and then I need you to leave the building and not come back in because there are men outside boarding the building up. Don't try and get in the building again. Please go straight out.
If Judith hadn't disturbed their sleep, they would have been trapped inside behind the steel shutters.
Yeah, I think that will keep them out. We'll keep an eye on it.
It's 3 hours since 6-day-old baby Liam was abducted. Police suspect Anita, the attacker who snatched him, is heading for London. But the getaway vehicle's been found abandoned in the city centre. It was towed by the council for having no tax. At the CID office, the lucky find gives Jane's team a vital lead.
So then she's parked on Bombay Street, gone we don't know where. Can we not do any tracking of CCTV from Bombay Street?
Well, we've considered that. I've asked whether the CCTV is on Bond Street, I didn't get a result. So I was going initial tactics.
Bombay Street is close to the city's bus station.
Right, so the theory is she's gone on a coach now, is it?
Yeah.
But get somebody at the relevant time to look at those cameras round and about Charlton Street bus station with the description of her, the time period we're looking at, because we can put her right on a bus then. I know it'll be busy, but quite distinctive appearance, isn't it?
A female with 2 young children and carrying a baby's cot, a carrying basket.
John,
Right, if you wouldn't mind having a look for me.
We don't know where she's getting off though, do we?
That bus is going to terminate at Victoria, isn't it? So, is there any way of deploying officers there? Because we're going to have to take her down in a way that to control her, aren't we, and maintain the safety of those children.
As a matter of urgency, because after that, we don't know where she's going to go, do we?
While Jane runs the search for the attacker, Jill makes a difficult call to Kelly's family.
Regarding the baby, we've still not found the baby at the moment. But I can assure you that we're doing everything we can. The main thing that we want to do is just to arrest her and keep her in custody. But we've not found her yet. All right, but like I said, I'll keep you updated if we know anything else. All right, bye.
In the city centre, Judith's back on beggar patrol. It's her last shift before her summer holiday.
I won't be walking up and down the streets of Manchester this time next week. I'll be in the sunshine in Greece. It'll be lovely. I can't wait for my holiday.
Judith spots Anton, one of her regulars, at his favourite hangout. He's not begging, but she has bad news for him.
The offence of begging is to place yourself in a public place to beg for alms. So the fact that he doesn't ask really doesn't come into it. If he sits down like this, the public's perception, because they've perhaps seen him before, or the public's perception of him, is that he's begging. So people will give him money without him actually asking.
Anton is such a persistent scrounger, he has an ASBO banning him from begging on the city centre streets.
But if people willingly give him money, then he'll go home with a smile on his face. But we need to be careful, no cups, no sitting. You see, you've got all the dog lovers as well. The dog lovers know Sandy, and therefore we'll give money as much for Sandy as for Anton. All right, so you've got to kill a bit of time.
Judith warns Anton that if he doesn't take her advice, he could go to prison if he's caught sitting down again. It's 5 hours since 6-day-old baby Liam was abducted. CCTV footage at the coach station has been checked. Anita and the children are not on any of the London buses.
Where she is and what she's
At the moment, it's being looked at as an attempted murder, very serious incident, and possibly other offences. As you can see, at the minute, everybody's running around like headless chickens because, not that we're just against the clock, but we've got somebody outstanding for this serious offence. We've got children.
I apologise.
We don't know where they are. So we're basically all working as a team to try and find out where everybody is and where we're up to.
One is...
She said it wasn't right. She said it was...
Division boss, Chief Superintendent Justine Curran, arrives for an update.
Can we check at the scene whether there's anything...
With the London coaches ruled out, the team have to consider every option.
I'm just thinking, do you think she could be in a taxi?
Well, she could, it won't cost a fortune, innit? We were checking the Hertz car hire at Charlton Street.
Taxi companies.
I don't know what we've done with taxi
Go back
companies.
to the officer's scene just to double check.
Right, car hire places then.
Yeah.
We need to jack something up with that. Or taxi ranks within that vicinity.
Which one was it?
They'll know if they've got somebody who's gone.
I'll hold on the line if you...
Gone to London.
Yeah, because there'd be all the kerfuffle with, we haven't got a baby seat, wouldn't there? She said, I just happen to have one.
It's already in there, yeah.
Tell you what, she's done some planning with this, hasn't she?
And 7 officers sat at the...
If Anita did switch to a hire car or taxi straight after dumping her own vehicle, she could be hundreds of miles away. Chief Superintendent Curran has authorised Jill to allow all sea and airports to stop her leaving the country.
The main concern is that this 6-day-old baby is still not been found, and we need to know if it's safe and well. So in view of that, I've also circulated, as well as the ports, also throughout every force, not just Greater Manchester, through Lancashire, through Cheshire, right down to the Metropolitan Police, through Hampshire, that this girl can be arrested. So she's circulated as a wanted person.
It's 2 o'clock in the city centre. A young man Judy thought was drunk turns out to have very full pockets.
We're waiting for a van to come to pick us up, to take us to Pendleton with this male who's been arrested on suspicion of possession of a controlled drug.
Joke. None of them drugs have got my fingerprints on them because I haven't had hold of him. These places just plenty.
Please.
Oh, look at you holding me like you're dead clever.
Come on, up you get. We're going.
What?
Judith and plainclothes officer Jeff suspect the drugs they spotted are cannabis.
This is the first time you nick someone, isn't it?
Correct.
Come on, though. Why don't you just nick more people more often and then you might get used to it and not think it's so buzzing?
Yeah, I've got that. The go as far as that.
A Class C drug normally gets a street caution, but the amount this man was carrying gives Judith no choice. She has to take him into custody.
Okay.
Sad.
Don't swear.
Sorry, pardon my French, sorry. I've never been arrested on such ridiculous terms, though. Do you know what I mean?
Whilst you're in custody, you have certain rights.
You always
I've warned you how many times about the language now you actually... I'm not doing it anymore.
Please help my job.
The man's behaviour is erratic. The custody sergeant thinks he's under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Do you want me to sit down, Sarge?
Yep.
Get your shoes on.
Judith will have to wait for him to sober up before he can be interviewed about his stash.
This is what we found on this individual. There are 6 bags of what appears to be cannabis, 1 roll-up. Once you've searched somebody and they've got that amount on, then obviously we'd arrest them. If he'd had, a smaller amount, then it's at the discretion of whether we would have done a caution on the streets, but not with that amount on him now.
Judith's found something else that might be more serious.
The citric doesn't stick to the bag like that, does it?
Citric acid is used as a mixer to bulk out other drugs. It's not illegal, but amphetamine and crack, both white powders, are.
When we spoke to him earlier, he was very erratic.
We've had to sit him down. He won't be interviewed for ages.
Judith can't finish her shift until her prisoner is sober enough to be charged.
It's typical when, on your last day, you just want everything to run smoothly, to finish on time, with everything done, so you can leave it all, that doesn't happen. I should never have volunteered to do this shift. And I won't do it again.
It's 6 hours since baby Liam was abducted. Police across the country have joined the search, but there are still no sightings. At the crime scene, Carol's found something that could be important.
We've just found a fingerprint and blood on the back of the hot water tap downstairs. I mean, I turned the water off under the sink, but even if I do that and then there's the slightest bit of water that dribbles from the tap and its removal, then we could lose our marks. So I'd prefer for a plumber to do it, and at least then we can sort of suit and boot them. Wonderful. OK then, thanks ever so much.
CID boss Jane authorises the plumber to start work.
We've found a fingerprint which we believe to be the offender's, and it's actually in blood on a kitchen tap. That's very important because what that does is actually put the offender to the victim and into the house. It's all about connecting the parts together forensically. We can do it with witness account of what the victim says, but we also need to back that up forensically because we've got no actual witnesses who see the attack.
It's not the plumber's first crime scene.
Nothing shocks me anymore.
If the plumber can remove the tap without damaging the fingerprint, they could have the evidence they need for a conviction. In custody, Judith's prisoner has sobered up, but he won't say what the white powder is.
He's been interviewed and we are going to bail him now for about 8 weeks for the analysis of the drugs that we've found. So that would take some time, particularly with regard to the white powder.
He's being released on bail. He can't be charged until the labs discover if the white powder is illegal.
There's a bit of a queue to get the sergeant's attention. We may have to push in. Here we go. We might have to do a little bit of pushing in. Got to get away, haven't we? Got to get some sun.
The custody sergeant can only bail one prisoner at a time. Working mum Judith has to wait her turn.
I should be away in the next hour. I'll give you a ring when I'm leaving and going for my tram. All right. Have you fed the other two? Have you fed Abby and Nick?
Judith's husband and 3 kids are used to her erratic shift patterns.
Bliss, thank you. Poor my husband wants to know where I am. But don't hurry up, they've drunk all the wine. I promised I'd be home on time today.
Hiya. Yeah, go on.
At the CID office, Jane discovers from Kelly's family that her attacker Anita lives in Hampshire. Jane's put the local force on full alert. They're watching all possible locations.
Boss, they've got, I don't know if you're aware, they've got a covert surveillance team.
The Farnham
They're doing
address.
a drive-by now.
Right.
Concern for newborn baby Liam's safety is intense. It's now 7 hours since he was abducted.
Our main priority now is getting back this baby safe and well and arresting this woman. And then we'll look at investigating and proving the case. Yeah.
I've heard sensibly she may have been back on the driveway at home address.
Right.
I've just spoken to the office and they've had some communication, so she's back at home, so we'll just stand by.
So we'll know in a minute.
Yeah,
good. So I was informed that obviously a development there in the case, so she might be back at her boyfriend's, which is her home address down in Aldershot. So I'm just waiting for a confirmation of that, and then we'll see.
Judith's shift is finally over.
Right, young man, how are you feeling? All right, bring your rubbish and let's get that into the bin. Let's tidy up. Right, out we come. I'll show you where to put those.
Regarding the 2 allegations of possession of a controlled drug, if you fail to attend without somebody cancelling you first...
8 weeks later, the labs confirm the bags contained cannabis. The white powder was amphetamine, a Class B drug. He's charged with 2 counts of possession and fined £70.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later.
Right, that's it. No more Manchester weather, no more beggars. I'm off to Greece, 3 weeks away from here, and I'm really looking forward to it.
It's 8 hours since baby Liam was abducted. Detective Sergeant Dave Turner finally has news of his fate.
Yeah, thanks. Found.
Where?
That estate, round the corner from that address.
Who have you heard that from?
That's from the DS at the house.
Has she turned up at the house?
No, she's been detained on an estate, round the corner.
In a vehicle?
Yeah.
Just wait until we get absolute certainty.
Yes. That's female.
220 miles away, Hampshire police confirm a woman with 2 young children and a baby has been found close to Anita's home address.
Right, so we're just waiting for physical
To
proof
say-
that they're all safe and well, then you can link in with the family members.
If we're all right ringing the hospital and letting the nurses tell her that the baby's okay.
Oh, yeah, let's just wait while we've just got the physical proof.
Yeah, I meant like rather than we have to go up and tell... No.
But Jane has to be certain they have the right baby.
15.
Jill checks what Mum Kelly told her.
So the baby's in? Yeah, he's in a blue baby grow that's got foxes on it.
He's in a blue baby grow with foxes on it.
And he's wrapped in a cream blanket which has got sheep
And wrapped in a cream blanket with
sheep on it.
sheep on it.
Any update, Dave?
We strongly believe, the child is safe and well. We need that card to see how she's got it, and then get her brought to the police station, and then we'll have other forensic assessment of her when she gets to the police station. Okay.
Hampshire police arrest the woman and take her to custody. Baby Liam is checked by a local hospital and brought back to his mum Kelly in Manchester.
It's a really good feeling to know that, you know, we've got a result at the end of the day. Somebody in custody and baby safe and well, which is what we all wanted.
1 week later, the evidence Carol found at the crime scene is at the labs. Forensic experts examine the tap with its potentially vital evidence.
To me, it looks like there's possibly a fingerprint there in blood. It just shows that somebody with blood-stained hands has actually obviously made some kind of attempt to either wash the hands or wash an implement, and consequently there's blood-stained finger marks on there.
Forensics confirm the fingerprint belongs to Anita and the blood to the victim, Kelly.
Just found a very small fibre. I'm just going to mount this up.
Anita is sentenced to 8 years for attempted murder and 4 years for the abduction of baby Liam. Judith has left for her holiday in Greece. And Anton is back on the streets.
Everyone knows that Judith's on all day now, so you stand a better chance of like doing it and not getting caught. That's why you'll see, if you walk around the street now, you'll see hundreds of beggars. You got spare cig on you, mate?
Anton's good fortune doesn't last. He's arrested for breaching his ASBO and sent to prison.
Thank you.
The boys watch the girls while the girls...
DL and Pascoe next here on BBC One, and DL becomes the prime suspect in a case of wrong time, wrong place. And on BBC Three, they're all barking mad in Dog Borstal.
Watch a guy, watch a dame on any street in town. Up and down, and over and across, romance is born.